Mayor Tiffany Henyard is a thug, a criminal. How she is allowed to stay in office one day. Why she is not cracking rocks upstate. Why the FBI has not done something. I don't know. I don't. Does she have pictures of somebody? Is that it? Tiffany Henyard's disastrous reign as Dolton's self-proclaimed super mayor has spiraled into outright lawlessness. And the latest scandal exposes her for exactly what she is, a corrupt, power-hungry authoritarian who thinks she's above the law. And you know what? She might be. The latest accusations against Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, they bear the violent, thuggish savagery and this absolute reality of her leadership. The so-called Dolton Dictator is now facing a federal lawsuit after she and her cronies allegedly attacked two men for simply exercising their First Amendment rights at a town hall meeting. Well, this isn't just a case of bad governance. Oh, no. It's outright tyranny. The kind of unchecked abuse of power that would make even the most corrupt Chicago politicians blush. Oh, you know who she is, right? Have you ever heard her? If you heard her, you'll never forget it. It's like the sound of a screech owl who's illiterate. The incident, which took place at a Thornton Township meeting on January the 28th, descended into chaos the moment activist Jedediah Brown dared to call out Henyard's corruption. Imagine that. Brown, like countless others in Dolton, had seen enough of this nincompoop's incompetence and audacity. He let loose on the mayor, calling her, in essence, a half-assed mayor, and suggesting that she had climbed the political ladder in less than honorable ways, if you know what I mean. Anyway, his speech struck a nerve, apparently, and the crowd cheered and erupted in approbation because it was true, an unmistakable sign that the people of Dolton have had enough of Boss Henyard's antics. But instead of responding like an elected official, like a human being, like an adult, somebody with a semblance of class, Henyard and her inner circle reacted like gang enforcers, launching a physical attack that should have ended in immediate arrest. But oh, no. See, what happened was, as Brown walked away from the microphone, Woods, a Thornton Township employee and the boyfriend of Tiffany Henyard, allegedly initiated the violence, hurling an insult and issuing threats. Well, things escalated instantly, with Woods and another township crony, DeMarcus Krigley, launching a full-blown attack. Mr. Brown and another activist, Lavelle Redmond, were suddenly caught in a violent brawl inside what was supposed to be a government meeting, not a back alley gang fight. What's this, Crips and Bloods nonsense? In a shocking and completely disgraceful move, Henyard herself reportedly joined in, wielding her microphone as a weapon, striking Brown and Redmond in the head and back. And this is the behavior of a despot, a tyrant, not a public servant. This is absolute thuggery. This is viciousness. Now, the lawsuits filed against Henyard and her cohorts outline a terrifying pattern of abuse. You see, Brown and Redmond allege that Henyard, Woods, and their associates engaged in an orchestrated assault, violating their constitutional rights, inflicting physical harm, and attempting to intimidate them into silence. But it didn't end there. Oh, no. See, what happened was Brown claims that after he was dragged out of the meeting, he was forcibly taken to a separate room where two private security guards, paid enforcers, Luca Brazzi's of Tiffany Henyard's corrupt regime, brutally attacked him, slamming his head and elbows into walls and the floor. One unidentified township employee reportedly took it even further, delivering a hard blow to the back of Brown's neck. It's like a rabbit punch as he attempted to escape. This is the kind of brutality one would expect in a third world dictatorship, not a suburban township in the United States. The injuries sustained, the injuries suffered by Brown and Redmond are extensive, broken veneers, bruises, head trauma, and deep emotional distress and embarrassment. They are seeking compensation for their medical expenses, emotional suffering, and even a new phone for Redmond, whose device was destroyed in the melee. Now, more importantly, their lawsuit seeks justice for the outrageous violation of their constitutional rights. Freedom of speech was trampled underfoot that night in Dolton, and the blame rests squarely on the Henyard and her the Henyard and her enablers. She's got to look like the Henyard because she's not real. Her disgraceful track record is well documented. Just days before this violent incident, she was found in contempt of court for stonewalling liquor licenses in an attempt to exert control over local businesses. And while she was busy playing political games, she managed to lose the Democratic nomination for Thornton Township Supervisor, which is kind of a duality thing we're not going to get into, but it's a stunning rebuke from her own party. But rather than accept defeat gracefully, no. She claimed voter suppression as an excuse. Where's that sound familiar? It's the same tired playbook used by corrupt politicians who refuse to take responsibility for their own failures. Again, was it election denier? It's no surprise that Woods, Henyard's, a right-hand man and attack dog, was also immediately placed on administrative leave after the brawl. And a move that signals just how toxic her leadership has become. The Thornton Township Board swiftly fired both Woods and another Henyard ally, William Moore, at a meeting on February 6th. Even in a deeply blue, Democratic-controlled region, her corruption and abuse of power have become too blatant to ignore. It's incredible. This lawsuit is more than just a legal battle. It's a referendum on the kind of unchecked authoritarianism that has plagued Democratic-run cities for too long. You see, Henyard represents everything wrong with modern Democratic leadership. Arrogance, lawlessness, and a complete disregard for the people she was elected to serve. Her tenure has been marked by scandals, abuse, and outright violence, and her latest actions should be the final nail in her political coffin. And how she is not indicted, I'll never know. The good people of Dolton and all of Illinois deserve better. They deserve leadership that upholds the rule of law, respects the Constitution, and serves the public instead of using the office as a personal fiefdom. Now let me explain something. Henyard and her cronies have made it clear they have no intention of governing. They are there to intimidate, to enrich themselves, and silence opposition. But the tide is turning. This lawsuit, coupled with growing public outrage and national focus, could finally be the moment when people of Dolton say enough. If justice is served, Henyard won't just be booted from office. She'll be held accountable in a court of law for her egregious abuse of power. And the radical left always claims to stand for democracy and the rule of law. Yet time and time again, they reveal themselves as nothing more than power-hungry authoritarians, willing to crush dissent by any means necessary. Oh, and by the way, since everybody here is black, try playing the race card. But she'll figure a way. Or the female card or the whatever card. You watch. Henyard's downfall is coming. And when it does, it will serve as a stark reminder that the American people will not tolerate corruption, violence, and tyranny in their communities. This is a case I have been watching since day one because I can't believe that it was allowed to go on this long, and I can't believe that the good people of Dolton would permit this or that the law. But then again, after what we've just seen on the national front, does it really surprise you? Not at all. My friend, what do you think? Put your thoughts and comments down, like the video, but most importantly, subscribe to this channel. And also send it to your friends so they know as you comment, as you see fit.